Welcome back to the deep dive. We always try to find fascinating sources and, well, turn them into a conversation worth listening to.
Definitely.
And today we're doing something I think pretty unique. We're tackling Tee Legion.
Mm-hmm. It's a collectible trading card game, a TCG, but here's the twist. It's all built around golf.
Yeah.
Like actual golf mechanic. Yeah, you heard that right.
Yeah.
It's not just, fantasy art and a sports theme. We're talking grip, stance, alignment.
But also dragons.
But also dragons, exactly. Forget your manicures for a second.
Okay, so our mission today really is to unpack how they pulled this off. How Tee Legion merges real golf stuff with deep TCG strategy.
Right. It's framed as this mythic duel of knights, dragons, and relics, but the core of it, the physics,
Yeah.
it's the fairway. We want to show you how every swing literally becomes a strategic battle.
It's such a wild concept, and I think that's why we need this deep dive, right? To figure out how it's not just Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! With golf clubs photoshopped in.
Precisely. The fundamentals of golf tempo, alignment, reading the wind, hitting it pure, these aren't just flavor text. They're the game mechanics, the powers, the units, how you win.
So you're constantly thinking spatially, like distance matters in a way it doesn't usually.
Absolutely. Calculating yardage, managing risk, it mimics the tension of golf itself, control versus power, playing it safe versus going for it.
The tagline kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
It does. Swing with dragons, command with a knight, read the wind, mind the hazards, and win the hole. It's that blend, high fantasy, grounded sport. That's what we need to get into.
All right, let's do it. Where do we start? The foundation, I guess, the stats, the board.
Yeah, let's lay out the basics. Before you command knights or swing dragons, you need to know the currency, the playing field. There are 4 core stats that run the whole show.
Okay.
And they're not just numbers, they have real roles. GP, HD, DG, and YDS.
GP, game points. That sounds like life points.
Essentially, yes, it's your score, but it's tied directly to your knight. If the knight's GP hits 0, game over. You're cut. Think of it like your overall stamina, your composure on the course.
Okay, but is it just a countdown clock?
Good question. No, that's the first strategic layer. GP often doubles as a resource. Some powerful cards, relics, or knight abilities might cost you GP to use.
Okay. So you're spending your health for a tactical edge.
Exactly. You have to constantly weigh it up. Is this move worth potentially losing some of my knight's, morale or stamina? It makes managing GP way more complex than just watching a life total tick down.
Interesting. Okay, so GP is health and a resource. What about the others? HD.
HD is hit damage. Pretty straightforward. That's your offensive power. How hard your dragon hits, usually chipping away at the opponent's GP.
And the counter to that, DG.
DG, tracking guard. Yep, that's the defensive stat. Toughness, resilience. A dragon with high DG is like a golfer with a really solid, consistent swing. It can handle pressure, maybe shrug off some bad environmental effects.
Got it. GP, HD, DG, what's the last one? YDS.
YDS yards. And this one is arguably the most critical, the most golf-like stat. It dictates distance, sure, but more importantly, it dictates placement.
Placement? How so?
It's the dragon's distance identity.
Yeah.
And it's absolute. A dragon's YDS value determines exactly where on the battlefield it can even exist. It's not just a number, it's like its physical anchor.
Whoa, okay, so you can't just put any dragon anywhere?
Nope. And that ties directly into the battlefield layout, the course. It's divided into 4 zones.
All right, let's walk the course. Zone 1.
The teeing ground. That's home base. It's where your knight commander starts and stays. It's permanent, can't be destroyed or removed.
The command center?
Exactly. But crucially, the knight can take GP damage there. So while the zone is safe, the knight isn't invincible. Your score, your health, is always vulnerable.
Okay, teeing ground. Moving down the fairway.
You hit the land zone, this is the main battlefield. Think of it as the fairway and the green combined. It's where your dragons line up to take their shots, to make their strike roll.
And this is where YDS comes in hard.
This is exactly where YDS imposes its rule. It's called the yardage to lance zone alignment. Dragons can only go into specific slots based on their YDS.
Like specific clubs for specific distances.
Precisely. You'll have a putter slot, maybe 0.50 YDS. You'll have iron slots, 7 iron, 5 iron for mid-range YDS. And then the big one, the driver slot, maybe 280 plus YDS, reserved for your heavy hitters, your boss's dragons.
You can't just stack powerful dragons side by side if their yardages don't fit the available slots.
Correct. It forces what the game calls club discipline. You want that 300-yard flame wing, you better have the driver slot open and ready.
Okay, that's clever, but what if a dragon's YDS changes? Like in effect buffs or nerfs it?
Brilliant question. That's where it gets really interesting. Let's say a course relic kicks up a headwind, and your dragon's effective YDS drops. If that new YDS is now illegal for the slot it's sitting in.
Yeah, what happens? Does it get removed?
No, it stays put. And this is huge, it cannot strike. It's paralyzed, effectively. It's stuck in the wrong spot, unable to perform its main action until its YDS becomes valid or it gets moved.
Wow, that sounds really punishing. A paralyzed dragon seems like a huge tempo loss.
It is, and that's the strategic depth. It forces you to build decks not just with powerful dragons, but with support cards. Relics that can protect their YDS or adjust conditions. You're constantly monitoring distance stability, not just damage potential. It's completely different from TCGs where a unit just sits there doing its thing regardless.
That YDS rule, it really captures that golf frustration, doesn't it? You can't hit driver off the green. You need the right tool. Okay, so tee and ground, lance zone, what else?
Next up is the Relic Zone. This is your support area off to the side. It's where your ongoing effects live your gear, like clubs, your swing cards, form, course cards, environment, technique cards, instance, and caddy cards, guidance, your toolkit.
Got it. The strategic layer beyond just the dragons. And the last zone, I have a feeling I know what this is.
You probably do. The hazard zone, the pitfalls. This is where things go wrong, where mishits land.
Bunkers, rough, water.
Exactly. The game uses universal tags. A roll result of 4 often means bunker risk, 5 means rough risk, 6 means water or something severe. Dragons sent here are out of the main action.
Can you get them back?
Yes, usually, with specific relic cards designed for retrieval, but it always costs you something: tempo, resources. It's never free. Recovering from a hazard takes effort, just like in golf.
But there's one hazard that's worse, right? The ultimate penalty.
Ah, yes, OB, out of bounds. This isn't just a temporary setback. If a dragon is sealed OB, it's gone for the entire match. Irretrievable.
Whoa. Okay, that adds some serious stakes to risky plays.
It absolutely does. It's the game's way of modeling catastrophic failure. The fear of OB looms over every big swing.
All right, we have the board, the stats, the hazards. Let's talk about the actors, the knights and the dragons. Their roles seem pretty defined.
Very defined, yeah. The knight is your commander, your avatar. Their GP is your GP. They are the leader. But, and this is key, they are not the primary attacker.
They don't swing the club, so to speak.
Not usually. Their main job is the command function. Once per turn, the knight commands 1 ready dragon. Just 1.
To do what?
To either strike, attack, defend, maybe boost DG or recover GP, or activate some special ability the dragon might have. The knight directs the flow, chooses the shot, picks the target, but relies entirely on the dragon to execute.
So if the knight isn't attacking, how do they stay relevant? Just by directing?
The command is irrelevance. Choosing which dragon acts and what it does is the core strategic decision each turn. If your opponent disrupts your key dragons, paralyzes them with YDS changes, or forces bad trades, your knight's commands become ineffective. That's how you lose, even if the knight has plenty of GP left.
Okay. But does the knight ever attack? Only in one specific situation. If the land zone is completely empty, all your dragons are gone or exhausted. Then, the knight can make a last resort fallback strike. It reinforces their role leader first, emergency hitter distant second. Their vulnerability is always tied to that GP total. Makes sense. So the knight leads, the dragons, they hit.
They are the muscle, the primary strikers. They line up in the land zone according to their YDS, and they're the ones performing those crucial strike rolls to damage the enemy knight's GP.
And they face the hazard risk on every roll.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially if using powerful relics or making risky plays. The lance zone is inherently unstable because of that constant hazard threat. Dragons are also defined by par levels P3, P4, P5, kind of like the difficulty of the hole they represent. Taking down a high par dragon feels like conquering a tough hole, sometimes giving you a bonus.
Okay, let's walk through a turn then. How does this knight-dragon interaction flow?
It's designed to feel like planning and executing a single golf shot, turn after turn.
Step 1. Start phase. Simple stuff. Ready any exhausted cards from last turn, resolve any start of turn effects, draw your 1 card for the turn. Standard TCG upkeep.
Then the big decision. Exactly. The command step. The knight uses that single command action. Choose 1 ready dragon. Decide, strike, defend, activate ability. This is where you commit. And if you choose strike.
Then you move to strike and resolve. The chosen dragon makes its roll, usually the core 1d6 die. You apply modifiers from relics, check for hazard tags if it was a risky roll or effect, and resolve the damage or outcome.
Okay, and after the strike?
There's usually a final step, maybe relics and reactions. This is where instant speed technique relics might be played, or ongoing effects from course relics resolve before the turn passes. But that focus on one command per turn really dictates the pace. It feels deliberate, calculated.
So the pressure is really on that commanded dragon and its roll. This brings us to the dice, right? The engine of risk. You mentioned the shot shape roll. Yes, the shot shape roll. This is really where Tee Legion carves out its identity. It's not just about hitting, it's about how you hit. This roll determines the curve, the control, the potential error. It injects golf physics right into the strike.
Crucially, though, this isn't the only rule, right? It doesn't happen every time.
Excellent point. No,
Yep.
every dragon has its base YDS and HD. The shot-shaped roll only happens when a relic card is maybe a specific piece of gear, a swing technique, or course condition explicitly calls for it.
So relics are how you try to add shape or extra power, but they introduce variance.
Precisely. You're choosing to add complexity and potential risk for a potential reward. If you just want a standard straight shot with base stats, you command the dragon to strike without a relic modifying it that way. But if you want more distance, more power, or a specific curve, you play the relic and roll the 1d6 shot-shaped die.
And that 1d6 has specific outcomes.
Yep, a clear power curve. 1 is best, 6 is worst.
Okay, break it down. What's a 1?
A 1 is straight, perfect contact. You apply the dragon's base YDS and HD, plus any normal modifiers. Clean, reliable, safe.
Good start. A 2. A 2 is a draw. Controlled power, a slight curve, you get a nice bonus. Plus 100 HD hits harder, and plus 50 YDS gets a bit more distance. You trade in perfect accuracy for aggressive power. Still a great result. Okay, and a 3.
A 3 is a fade, the opposite curve, controlled stability. You gain plus 100 EGs, more resilient, and still get plus 50 YDS. Reliable carry, maybe better for setting up defensively. Again, a successful strategic outcome.
All right, 1, 2, 3 are good. What about 4?
Now we get into risk. A 4 is a hook, too much curve left. You get a big distance boost, plus 150 YDS, which can be huge. But you become vulnerable, losing a NAC 100 DG. And crucially, a 4 triggers an immediate bunker hazard check. You might end up in the sand.
Pushed it too hard. Okay. A 5. A 5 is a slice. The weak, uncontrolled curve to the right is pure penalty. An action 100 YDS comes up short, and an action 100 HD, weak hit. And this triggers a rough hazard check.
You're likely in trouble. Ouch. Which leaves 6. The 6 is a shank. Total disaster. Catastrophic mishit. You lose a massive Madish 150 YDS. And worse, the dragon must make an immediate mandatory hazard check. Roll odd. Go straight to the hazard zone. Roll even. It might stay in play, but it's severely weakened. A 6 often carries the risk of landing in water, or, depending on the card, triggering that dreaded OB seal. Game over for that dragon.
Wow. The physics feel intuitive. Aggressive mistakes give distance, but risk hazards. Weak mistakes lose distance. Total misses risk everything.
Exactly. And it forces you, the player, to decide how much variance you're willing to introduce with your relic plays. Are you feeling lucky, or do you play it safe?
And even the knight isn't immune if they have to make that rare attack.
Nope. The knight strike roll follows similar logic. A bad roll for them, like a 4 or 5 or 6, also risks landing them conceptually into bunker, rough, or water OB. The fundamental risk is always there.
Okay, so the dice provide the risk. What provides the control? The strategy. That must be the relics.
Absolutely. The relics are your toolkit, your golf bag, and the design here is really tight. 5 distinct subclasses, each with a specific role, and importantly, specific stats they're allowed to mess with.
Stat anchors.
Yeah, they can't just affect everything. Keeps things balanced. First up, gear relics, clubs, balls, equipment. They focus only on YDS, HD, and DG. Raw physical outputs. How far, how hard, how stable.
And critically,
gear does not touch GP. Your fancy driver might hit it miles, but it won't improve your knight's morale or stamina directly.
makes sense. Next, swing relics.
These are about form, stance, rhythm. Their main anchor is DG, Dragon Guard, representing consistency. They might adjust YDS slightly and sometimes lightly affect GP, linking discipline to composure.
Okay. Then course relics. Environment stuff.
Exactly. Wind, terrain, maybe even weird magical effects on the course. Their main anchor is GP. A tough course condition might drain GP turn by turn. They also influence YDS and DG naturally as conditions change.
All right. Technique relics sound like instants.
You got it. One-shot tactical plays. Clutch moments. They focus on HD and YDS, sudden bursts of damage, or tricky repositioning. But they often come with a cost, maybe a direct GP penalty to the knight. The price of a bold, risky shot.
And the last one? Caddy relics.
Guidance, support, keeping you steady. Their anchors are DG and GP. Stability, composure, managing variance. Think of caddies as helping you avoid the worst outcomes, maybe negating a bad die roll modifier, but they usually offer moderate effects. They keep you in the game, but don't typically win it for you.
So these relics aren't just for attacking, they're crucial for dealing with the hazard zone too, getting dragons back.
Vital. Hazard retrieval relics are your lifeline. But there's a catch.
Always a catch.
Almost always, yeah. Retrievals generally have to follow the universal hazard retrieval cost table. You pay a price, usually GP, or maybe sacrificing some HD on the retrieved dragon, and the dragon comes back exhausted.
Meaning it can't act right away?
Correct. You lose tempo even on a successful recovery. Saving your dragon costs you time and resources.
Do different relic types retrieve differently?
Yes, and that shows the strategic choice. Technique relics offer the riskiest, highest reward retrievals. They're the only ones that can even attempt to pull back a high par dragon, like a par 5 boss. But the failure condition might be an immediate OB seal. High drama.
The miracle shot from the trees.
Exactly. Whereas caddy relics are the safest. They might be capped at retrieving, say, up to par 4 dragons, and focus on minimizing the GP cost, protecting your knight's stability, damage control.
And the others. Beer, swing, course.
They fall in the middle. Their retrieval costs are often tied to their main stats. A gear retrieval might force you to accept lower YDS on the recovered dragon, for example. A tactical trade-off.
Okay, this is starting to paint a really complex picture. Mechanics, stats, risks. How does this translate into overall strategy? That must be where the factions come in. The Knight Legions.
Precisely. Your choice of Knight Legion sets the tone, the philosophy for your entire deck. There are 4.
Lay 'em out. First.
The Warrior Legion. Color is crimson, their symbol is a crossed driver and sword. Predictably, they are all about aggression. High HD, direct GP damage that want to smash through.
How does that work mechanically? Just bigger numbers?
Often, yeah, but also effects that let them make multiple strike rolls or add bonus HD. Pure attrition through force.
Okay, Warrior is straightforward. Next.
Rogue Legion. Shadow green with twin daggers shaped like golf tees. Nice touch. They're the tricksters. They love playing with the hazard zone, using pierce mechanics to bypass some DG and manipulating YDS.
Trying to paralyze enemy dragon.
Exactly. Disrupting alignment, forcing bad rolls, playing angles. Very tricky. Monk Legion. Sacred gold, using a lotus flower on a golf marker sigil. They're the opposite of warrior. Defense, high DG, patience, attrition. They want to control the tempo, outlast you.
So lots of swing and caddy relics, stability.
Tons of them. Ways to recover GP, boost DG consistently, make low-risk plays. They grind you down slowly.
And the last Legion.
Wizard Legion. Arcane blue. Symbol is a rune staff mixed with a golf flag stick. They are the masters of strategy and synergy. Very relic heavy. They focus on course control, setting up complex board states, and using technique relics to manipulate dice or create powerful combos.
More about control and combos than direct damage or defense?
Yeah, they want to build an engine, lock you down with conditions, then unleash a game-winning play.
Okay, those are the Knights' approaches. What about the dragons themselves? Do they have factions too?
Oh yes, 5 dragon factions, and this is where the golf theme gets woven in even deeper. They're linked to elements, sure, but also specific club types and even parts of the golf swing.
Really? Like what?
Okay, first, flame wings, fire element. They're typically drivers and linked thematically to stance. All about explosive power, big opening shots. Mechanically, they might trade GP for huge HD boosts, aggressive stance, aggressive play.
Makes sense. Who's next?
Stonebacks. Earth element. They represent irons and are linked to grip. Defensive, stable, reliable mid-range hitters. Very resilient, maybe good at playing out of the rough, reflecting a firm, steady grip.
Cool.
Third, storm scales, lightning element. They're associated with hybrids and the takeaway part of the swing, the beginning motion. Fast, adaptable, good at combos, maybe dodging hazards. Quick recovery speed.
Fourth action.
Tidewinds, water and ice element. They're putters and linked to impact. Precision, control, messing with tempo, low HD maybe, but high tactical value, freezing opponents, disrupting commands. The crucial moment of impact.
Love that. And the fifth must be the rare ones.
The Aethermanes, cosmic element. They wield legendary clubs and are tied to the follow through the arc, the destiny of the shot. These are your big, complex, synergy-driven dragons, often win conditions requiring specific setups to unleash game-ending effects.
Wow. Okay, putting it all together. The system seems to work because the rules are so clear. Knight leads, dragon hits, relics shape the shot.
And it's all governed by that authentic golf logic. The YDS bans are non-negotiable. You have to manage your clubs correctly. You can't just cheat physics.
And the factions tying into swing mechanics? That's really layered. Choosing Stonebacks isn't just choosing Earth, it's choosing a strategy built on grip stability.
Exactly. It makes deck building incredibly thematic and strategic. So yeah, Tee Legion succeeds by making distance, YDS, and power precision, HDDG central, using hazards as the variance engine, and forcing you to manage risk via relics and the shot shape roll.
It's a game of resource trade-offs, GP for tempo, safety for power, all within those strict spatial limits.
Right.
So what's the takeaway for you listening to this? It sounds like Tee Legion has a clear structure, which might make it accessible. Knight commands dragon, dragon rolls.
The basic turn flow is probably pretty easy to grasp, yeah. Clear rolls mean clear turns, but the real depth, the mastery, comes from understanding those relic subclasses, managing the hazard risk, and really internalizing the odds of the shot shape roll.
It definitely sounds like a game that rewards planning and risk assessment over just playing the biggest dragon, absolutely. It appeals to that learner mindset. You have to constantly calculate, can my knight afford the GP cost of this technique? Is the plus 150 YDS from a hook worth the bunker risk right now? How do I recover if I roll that shank? It's less about how to hit the dragon, maybe, and more about how to handle the inevitable mishit.
I think that's a fantastic way to put it. The TCG part is there, clearly. But the golf soul of the game is in managing failure, managing collapse. That 6, the shank, is always lurking. How much of your strategy, your knight's mental energy or GP, has to be dedicated just to recovering composure after a bad shot, rather than purely attacking?
So the final thought then, maybe the ultimate boss in Tee Legion isn't some giant 500 YDS Eatermane dragon.
Maybe not. Maybe the true boss is the triple bogey. That cascading failure, a bad roll leads to a hazard, the retrieval fails or costs too much tempo, your knight takes GP damage, your alignment gets messed up, leading to that final irreversible OB, that fear of compounding error. That's the core tension.
It forces you to respect the course, respect the fundamentals. Sometimes, like in real golf.
Sometimes the smartest play is just to play it safe, even if it doesn't feel heroic. That might be the deepest lesson Tee Legion has to offer.